Boom! We're off with another episode of Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alan Snyder, here with my boy. He's only been to the laundry room once, Zach Elias. What's up, Zach?
What's with the shoulder action? Dr. Alan Snyder. You're like sitting on something vibrating.
But let me tell you here, I got a show to give you, and this is what we're doing today here.
Yeah, show if you think so.
Booze Your Daddy, the podcast, 8:30. Tuesdays, we do it live. We post it later on Saturday. Make sure you rate, review, subscribe, do all the things, share it with your friend. We're going to have fun. Today, we got a fun one, episode 90, American Dream. But
right, I'm into that.
I always piddle around and never get to the beer, and then you have to yell, be like, hey, asshole, where's the beer here? So, Zach, what are you drinking today?
I got my smutty nose, old brown dog again.
Freudian slip?
Last time. It's fine. I should be drinking whiskey this time because my wisdom teeth are hurting, which happens periodically, like once a year. Years ago, actually, crack yours first, then I'll get into this.
About time. Going back to the Wet Ticket Brewing, Rahway, New Jersey. I have a one-way ticket, not to paradise, but is a New England style IPA.
Yeah, that looks like something.
Release the Kraken.
Cheers.
L'chaim. Boom.
So
boom.
years ago, I was at a bar. We were watching college football or something, and I take like a swig of beer, and it hurts. Ow, my mouth hurts. My neck hurt. And I take another one, and it's just not happening. So my buddy's friend's a nurse, comes up, goes, touches my neck, touches my glands, and so she goes, whiskey. I go, what do you mean whiskey? She goes, your mouth's inflamed, your wisdom teeth are hurting, right? I go, yeah. So she goes, drink whiskey tonight. Doctor's orders. Rumor has it I had 12 Jack and Cokes. They would just give me soda by the end because I was so awful and unbearable. But she was right. The whiskey coated the pain.
Yeah.
The alcohol helped, and the sugar kept me, caffeine kept me going. So
whiskey does everything as far as curing pain.
Good.
It doesn't help for curing the pain for the people next to you for when you're either picking a fight and or crying, because that is also a side effect of whiskey. But yeah, whiskey is
both of those things. But yeah, by the end, the guy was just like, I'll take another one. He's just giving me soda, faking it because I was just such a mess.
I had a patient or a kid from Russia a couple of years ago, and I wasn't feeling so great. He turns to me and goes, now you listen to me. He goes, my grandfather lived to 86. Anytime he even remotely got a cold, he would drink a half of glass of straight vodka, put on all his winter stuff, go to sleep. He says, felt great every day the next morning. And I looked at him, when I'm sick, look, I'm a drinker. When I'm sick, nowheres am I drinking any type of alcohol.
Am I drinking. But I do like getting sweated out. I will go to the gym when I'm sick. And I'll get on
just to get a little sweat in. Yeah.
No, I get a lot of sweat. I get gross. Within minutes, you're just pouring. The whole thing is nasty.
Go for a schwitz.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well,
I look great shaved. Thank you, Marlene Simon. So I look great. I do look great.
Is there anything you'd like to say to her today?
She looks great as well. And maybe happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Tanta Marlene.
There it is.
30-something with a couple years of experience there for her.
Speaking of 30-something with some experience, shout out to our closet listener, Lauren Baum, Jenna's bestie, who turned 40 yesterday. I had to go to her birthday on Saturday.
Is that the ginger?
Okay. Yeah, it's the ginger. At least I got a 9-hole round of golf beforehand to make dinner palatable. But I played pretty well.
Episode 90. We're calling today's episode American Dream. Zach, I don't know if you're familiar with the finally finished American Dream Mall / theme park area. It's right next to where the Jets lose.
A lot of time next door. So I'm fully aware of what it is. It looks pretty cool. You see a roller coaster going up. I am flattered they think I have it together enough to bring skis and a bathing suit with me to the same venue because they've got both there.
Well, the good news is I went yesterday. The positive of my experience is that parking.
It's important when you're retired to do some mall walking.
First hour is free. So you can go there and do what you need to do. It is a mall. The rest of the day, $3. So they're not gouging you as far as.
How do they know how long you've been there? Armband?
Are you kidding me? Most malls, you get a ticket when you go into the parking lot.
Oh, that kind of. Okay, gotcha. I thought it was you just walking around and some mall cop comes up. You've been here over an hour, $3. Paul Blart billing you.
That's Paul Blart. Part 3 is going to be going around giving tickets to the people walking.
3 invoicing.
No, so that was the positive experience. The American Dream, the reason they named it this, I'm assuming, is because the American Dream is to be able to afford this place. Zach, We went to the water park for one adult. How much to get in?
For one adult for that like Corona Park where it's like fake beach and they've got just recycled water, I'm gonna say $30.
$99 for an adult admission starting from 10 a.m. to 5. How much for a kid?
$99 for an adult. It's got to be 55 for a kid.
$89.99 for a kid to get in. They are gouging you.
That's
so that
insane. And people are paying it. You paid it.
we had 5 in our party. So just to get into the place, you're looking at
Ouch.
yeah. I don't. Who's on that bill? Is that the McKinley? One of the presidents.
The
So
guy, the President of American Dream is on that bad boy.
that's just to get into the place. Then you cannot bring in any food, although we did see a Pisha Du who had some Dunkin' Donuts next to us. They have a little snack area there.
Yeah, the
A s-
$9 hot dog, right?
It was
11?
it was no, I think it was like maybe like 8 or 7. They had a 6-inch pizza for 14.
Where
They
do
had
measure from the beginning of the crust?
Isn't that where you're supposed to measure from?
Absolutely. I mean, these aren't phasing me because next week I'm going to be in the most expensive place in the world.
So I do want to get to your trip next week, but for me, I was curious in your theme park experience because I got some stories for you. But so you're getting ready to go to Disney, but what
I am getting ready to go to Disney with the kid, and the
you
whole
already
kid
said
club.
like Corona free, you could never do this. Now the park is saltwater, so that was probably better than just eating chlorine all day. But are you a theme park guy, amusement carnival? Like you're going to Disney. What is your plan with Zoe?
I don't know, get Corona day one and hope that I miss the rest of the week and maybe get around to golf. No, I am not a huge theme park guy. I don't love waiting, which is a lot of theme parks. I'm a bad waiter and liner. I'm big at cutting the exit and just giving the guy a confident nod and a wave and just walking in the exit door. I like the rides. Rides are fun. It's going to be exciting to see Zoe all happy and fun, but there's Elsa or whatever. But other than that, no, it's a lot of heat and a lot of bad bodies, and no one's in it for anyone else. Everyone's in it for themselves. You've got a million people who are just self-interested to get to the next place. It has nothing to do with you.
Summertime too. I mean, it's going to be.
Yeah, I'm aware of when it's going to be. It's the only time we could do it after we canceled it last time. The logistics, it was like playing 3-dimensional chess. It doesn't matter.
Are you doing all the parks? Like Samantha just mentioned, going to Universal.
No, that's Busch League. That's speaking of. I'm not going to Busch Gardens either. No, we're doing Disney, we're doing Animal, and we're doing Hollywood Studios so that I can do some Star Wars stuff. And Epcot for a night.
Such a loser.
Please. Oh, if they have Game of Thrones, you'd be up there rock hard building a throne or whatever they got there.
And Harry Potter, yeah, you're speaking my language, little man. I mean, this is exactly.
You're super cool. So anyway, we're doing that stuff, and it's gonna be a generational divide on which droid we build. Me and Zoe are gonna go to the mat for that one.
Did you not get the Turbo Pass or the VIP experience?
I got the wife. She's got all that stuff. I don't know. Yeah, we've got all of it. Whatever you need to get, we've got. And it's been for months, so we've fast passed whatever that.
Fast pass is when you cut the line.
No, that's an exit pass. I did that at Six Flags one time. A ride broke, and my buddy went and complained. He's a big show like that, and he got an exit pass. And I was standing next to him, and I go, "Whoa! There's 8 in the party." So the guy gave us 8 exit passes. So each of us went and got exit passes. We had complained individually, which meant you just walk up the back and into the ride and just show the guy the pass. Except he didn't check most of the time, so we just kept doing the same rides. We did the park in like an hour and a half. We did every ride multiple times to the point where I had to just sit down. One of the guys
you were too tired. You had too much fun.
My body was like shot. You're not supposed. You need the weight to recover from roller coasters and loops. It's like, let's go again. I'm like, I'm just gonna sit here and have a $5 pickle. You go and I'll meet you on the back end.
What was his name? The $5 pickle.
Hey-o.
Oh.
I didn't catch his name on the way out. I'm happy to see Zoe at Disney. I don't love huge crowds in general. I don't need it.
How many arguments do you think you'll get into in 1 week in Disney?
None. I'm just gonna be apathetic. I'm a mule or a camel. I was like, put everything on me and point me in the direction we have to go.
So
the only arguments would be me and Zoe. Do we get BB-8 or do we do R2-D2? Which droid do we build? For $200, we're not building 2.
Are you gonna get her the ears? Are you gonna get her the Mickey?
I'll get her the ears.
That's a no. You're going to the dollar store down the street and showing up with ears.
No, I'll get her the ears. It is what it is. If you spent $99 for American Dream, I have to get her the ears. So who footed the bill for these kids? Did you invoice their parents, whoever the hell they were?
Yeah, the kids from West Virginia, they had to go back to their jobs in the coal mine.
They fleeced you. They brought them up here for the rich Jewy uncle,
Yeah,
nephew, whatever, so you could take them
exactly.
all of this stuff. Yeah, they totally shook you down.
So
Meanwhile,
this
coal mine's not a bad job if you can get work. It's union.
one of the biggest disappointments for the kids was we're driving and
You're
we get
welcome.
we get close enough to Manhattan that I look and I'm like, guys, look, it's New York, and they're not processing this at all until you have to put it in terms they understand of. Pittsburgh, which is really close to them, and Pittsburgh is the biggest place ever for them.
Morgantown, it's times 100.
Yeah. We had to look up, like, Manhattan is literally 4 times the amount of people of Pittsburgh, and they still didn't get it. They're like, whatever. But this theme park that we went
they
to,
know like 43 people and they're related to all of them and engaged to a couple of them. Like, it's bananas down there.
so at American Dream, Zach, you're not getting a minion. So if you ever go there and, you're sitting Shiva, do not assume you're going to be able to get
Oh, I think I'm one of those little Despicable Me guys. I'm not getting a minion. No, there's no.
It's a Snyder family reference to there's no Jewish men there.
I got it, yeah.
But there were a couple of Hebes, like Orthodox frums, women covered head to toe in the garb that you're supposed to wear when you're at a theme. I mean, I was like,
oh, do they cheat a little bit, show a little ankle, just get you going, get the guys crazy?
I think I saw an ingrown hair. I was like, oh my God.
No. Yes, that's just unkempt.
There was a bunch of that. The place that we were going, the coolest ride they have is this. You sit in, it's
Did
a
you
four.
ski?
It's not a part of the same thing, man. Like, you walk through a freezing cold mall that had an ice rink just to get to this place where you get in. The humidity is about, I don't know, 80 degrees Celsius by the time you get there. So I filled up a water bottle, and by the end of the day when I went to drink it, might as well have been boiling just from inside this place. It was miserable. But the one ride that was actually pretty cool that goes around the whole place, they basically fat shame you. So they start you off where the first time I went with the little one who is 40 pounds soaking wet. They put us on a scale and we get the green light. I turned to the guy and said, how much do you have to weigh? And he goes, it has to be 150 total. And I looked at him and I'm like, dude, my left leg is 150. But thank you for thinking I was 110 pounds. Like, that was insane. But then when you start the ride, they rank you by weight. They don't actually weigh you, but they just look at whoever. So I had to sit in the front.
So some guy just eyeballs it, like,
oh yeah, they're just eyeball.
Skinny guy, fat guy. It's like the hockey game in Nintendo where you have like a little guy and a medium guy and 2 fat guys, and that's your team.
Dude, it's exactly what it was.
I like that game.
And I mean, look, it didn't matter. I was sitting in front, which was miserable because I got a saltwater lavage douche up my nose every single time because they're spraying water into you're going down. And I usually ham it up for the kids. So I'm like, I'm so scared. I opened my eyes. I couldn't see because I was blinded by salt water. I opened my mouth. I'm drinking the ocean there or whatever the substitute is. But where I really
know how girls feel when they,
wouldn't know. So
don't
it's
call a job for nothing.
But as far as what I really felt bad is when, we saw these other 2 girls go, and one of them was considerably bigger than the other one. And they basically just look at her and she looks at them and they're like, you're sitting in the front. She's like, yeah, I kind of figured. It was fat shaming to an extreme. But we were even talking about this a little bit before.
It's New Jersey.
Here's what I will say about people going. My sister likes to make this joke. My sister says she's watching tonight live for the first time. So what's up, Allison? Hopefully you don't go 0 for 5 on the trivia.
Oh, full Allison.
But there are people there who my sister always likes to make the joke, like, do they not have mirrors when they put a bathing suit on? Zach, I couldn't care what people wear when they actually go to the ocean or whatever. Like, truthfully, if you got it, whatever. I don't care. Show it. Show what you want to show. What drove me a little bit crazy, and make your judgments here, is people that would wear.
That's the title of the show. Make your judgments here.
Next episode. People that would show up that were bigger, larger, which God bless, large and in charge, and they would wear a white shirt, which one dip in the wave pool, it's a see-through competition. What are you doing? Either do something about it, cover up. I don't get it. I don't get the shirt wearing at a place like this.
The white shirt? So if you've got, the goods, you should wear white. But if you don't, you shouldn't. You're just shamed them.
The few people there with the goods were on full display, my man. And the people there who had
the Orthodox with the skirts, the goods.
The people there that had the Costco goods, they also were showing it there.
Yeah, I don't think when you got it flaunted. I think that there's an age where you should stop flaunting it. There's a size and you should stop flaunting it. I think that you've got to take.
It was just something that happened.
Tausch and Lam into consideration. Just
The floor at this place, my feet are so raw from whatever they consider to be because they don't want you to slip on super smooth stuff.
Aren't you supposed to wear flip flops in any gross shower kind of situation?
It wasn't a shower. You're walking around.
It's one big gang shower. This thing.
Don't drop the soap there.
You do not drop the soap there.
The other thing that happened, which I thought was actually pretty funny, was you have to walk up the stairs at these parks. At least there, we didn't have to carry up any tubes or anything. And the middle one that I'm there with,
was there a weight limit for the stairs? Because when I was in Milwaukee, a big place, we were discussing when we went to the Brewers game whether we should go down Barney Brewer's slide. 2 of us wanted to, 2 of us didn't. Then it was like $100, so we decided not to. I wanted to go. But when you look at the thing, there's a waiver that says you must be able to handle 4 steps. 4 steps up. You've got to be able to do that comfortably because in Milwaukee that's not a guarantee.
I couldn't imagine that. Like, just go around me. Just go without me. I'll meet you at the top.
I'm going to set up base camp here.
But the middle one, she's not the most athletically fit kid, and she complains a lot when it comes to doing a lot of walking or stairs. But these kids are so addicted to their iPad. It was nauseating. I finally came up with how I'm going to be as a parent. We're just going to you can have as much screen time as you want, but you're going to be doing 5 push-ups for every 20 minutes on it. You're going to be doing 20 lunges for every, I think that's going to be my punishment for kids. I don't want to hit kids.
Blind and yoked. That's the deal.
My kid, I'm going to be like, bounce. You're going to have to dribble a ball between your legs for 20 minutes I think it's a perfect. You want to use the iPad up and down the stairs twice just to deter them enough, or they'll be in good shape.
Yeah. When they get fat and take up the cello, they're going to hate their father.
I'll put a Snickers bar at the top of it or some cotton candy for them.
Kids love cotton candy. That's just empty nothing. That has the highest markup of any product ever.
It was $7 at American Dream for a thing. This $7.
How do they sleep at night? A pile of money and cotton candy. Exactly. Yeah.
So last week when we were talking, I didn't pick it up during the show, but this happens a lot of times when I listen back and do some editing and whatnot. You made a joke about your I Love Lucy moment and the ice cream thing, which, by the way, I was laughing in a room by myself. It was very good. I heard a great story this past weekend about I Love Lucy. Mm-hmm. Apparently, the I Love Lucy pitched that show to Viacom CBS back in the day as she wanted to do a show with her Cuban husband, mainly because he was out stooping other women. It was to keep him closer at home, which I didn't know. CBS said, nobody's going to believe that you're married to a Cuban man. She's like, no, I'm actually married to a Cuban man in real life. And then from there, they didn't pick it up. So they did a vaudeville act. They went on the road. They did their thing. And then eventually CBS came to the last episode, picked them up. The rest is history. I guess this just kind of made me think because
he was definitely out of her league. I'll say that. As far as the times go, he had the Kermit the Frog style voice. You don't have to agree.
That show I've actually debated on maybe going back and watching because I really only know the episode you were talking about with the chocolate.
Jenna loves that show. I think it's the most overrated show of all time. Wow. The people love it. It
was original, man. There was nothing like that back in the day.
For me, it's The Honeymooners. You want to give me something old school and
one season.
The 2 seasons, I think. Whatever it was.
One big one.
Gold. One big one is right. It's gold. And it holds up, and I watch it on New Year's. Like it's Channel 11 airs it forever. It's fantastic. I Love Lucy. It's cute. Doesn't do it for me.
So I was going to ask you, maybe you already answered, are there any shows that your parents watched that you kind of took in that were very old-timey? Because I guess for me, I have one specifically, but Lucy was one that I never sat down and watched, but my dad would watch here and there, and I would catch some episodes.
My dad loved when it was on the Wonder Years. I didn't get it at the time. He lived it. I've watched it since then.
Wonder Years was live. What do you mean? It wasn't a rerun ever.
No, I watched it with him at the time, like in the 80s. Oh, so like when they were kids shows?
Yeah, like when they were like, my dad also was like, you got to watch Mr. Ed. This stuff is great. I'm like, this is terrible.
Howdy Doody crap. Because it was all like, it was live, so they couldn't make it too complicated. And humor was super clean back then. You couldn't even use innuendo. You couldn't even no entendres. I think The Honeymooners was by far the best of them. Little Rascals was cute. It was funny at times. Three Stooges, they smack each other around, makes me laugh. Who I should love, and I've tried to love, but just don't get, the Marx Brothers. They're genius, I guess. Nice Jewish boys. He had an excellent mustache. I don't get why they're so great. Other than that, they sort of pioneered it. But as far as ha-has go, they don't do it for me. Three Stooges, you hit a guy with the frying pan. It's universal. It holds up any generation.
I guess when I was little, my dad used to watch the original Blackface, which was Amos and Andy.
Oh, hey.
I mean, my father's openly racist, but
Okay,
he says he's not prejudiced. He hates all black people equally, which
anyone who opens with "I'm not prejudiced," the next words out of their mouth are going to be horrible.
But
it's like saying "no offense," and then you just like tell the person off.
Shout out to the Queen of Staten Island. So getting into the
What she do?
She always says "no offense" and then says the meanest shit ever.
Good for her.
The Pisha Do of the week. I actually don't have any good candidates. But
it's the Queen of Staten Island.
No, she's great. Anyways, I want to talk a little bit because I don't know the exact story, but I have two candidates and they're both softball related because you and I both play on similar teams where I'm going to playing the game this weekend, hopefully, or I'm playing tomorrow. Hopefully we're going to win the championship.
Yes, we lost last week in the semi. Yeah,
I'll just start off with, so our friend Eric, your friend, texted me, and now the situation I'm understanding was the game was tied.
He told me, he G-chatted me privately about this.
Go on. So
he's the Pisha Do of the week. He's an asshole.
Tell me what happened.
I don't know how he told you. He cryptically said it to me as if it was someone did it. In a walk-off situation, but no fence, the ball just goes like it should be an infield single, but it gets past them and it rolls for days. Do you run around the bases or do you stop at first? Meaning you scored the winning run who's on third. So what's the difference? Is that how he explained it to you?
Essentially. Now, who is this? Because I told him an answer I have, but who did this?
He had the hit. There was some guy on base. So he walked off.
What did he do?
He did a slow trot around the bases, which I think is just gratuitous. I said to him, if there's a wall and it goes over the wall, you take your turn.
You have to.
But other than that, you stop at first, like you've been there before, then you go celebrate at home with your team. The fact that he took a slow trot, he didn't even bust it. Like, all right, fine, run like all.
He has two speeds. There's no busting it with this kid.
No, it's slow trot and slower
stop.
Trot. Yeah, stop. I think that's just showboating, and he should be drilled in the next game.
By a high arc, slow pitch softball?
Just drill him, sure. Yeah,
okay.
Whatever.
He didn't tell me who it was, but my answer was I run as hard as I possibly can until the run touches to score. Because in theory, if that person's out for whatever reason,
you need to get bases.
You need to get bases. But I said, I essentially, with my blazing speed, I'm at second base by the time that person scores, at which point I make
third.
He didn't tell me third. I thought it was a person all right.
Third, you just trot.
I thought it was a person at first or second, but my answer was
rubbing their nose in it at that point.
I get to second. I assume I'm at second, and then make a beeline through the pitcher's mound to go celebrate at home. I said that's
the same thing.
That's what you do.
Who your number two is Eric's an asshole. Number one, that's the guy.
Well, he goes, oh, so you just go through the pitcher's mound? I said, yeah, and
I take over at that point.
I take out and show them my crab cakes on the way by. the number two was.
I said to him, if there's a fence, though, if it goes over the fence, you do your full turn. You don't do Bob and Ventura. You could, but you can take a full turn. No fence, and the ball just rolls.
High arc, slow pitch, co-ed softball. No,
and he's busting it around. He's trotting like what is he waving like Queen Elizabeth over each face?
The other one, I guess, is from the same game where I will preface my boy, who hasn't played softball in over a year and certainly never plays high arc. Not one, not two, but 3 strikeouts.
That's like the diamond sombrero for softball.
It was 2 were swinging, 1 was looking, which the lookings happen. I mean, I don't know about you, but I swing at everything with 2 strikes.
Everything. And you hit everything. I don't care if I dribble one to the pitcher. I'm hitting the ball. Even my wife, Jenna, who's subbed for us today, never struck out. I've never struck out in softball. I've had some bad hits, but I've never struck out.
So, who do you vote for?
Who's the guy? Who's the strikeout guy?
Z.
Eric.
You're such a wuss.
He's an asshole. No, by the way, striking out is a function of athletic ability, skill, and or coordination.
Or lack thereof by striking out.
That has nothing to do with him being an asshole or a Pisha Do. Eric doing his thing. It's a fucking tool.
What was that accent? The Pisha Do.
Yeah, it's Italiano. But
All right.
anyway, no, he's a tool for what he did. And the fact that he curried favor with both of us privately
privately.
earlier today, and we both gave him the same answer, what a jackass.
I love that he doesn't listen to this. I may just send him this clip, which is
Yeah,
great.
send him this. Currying favor, sidling up.
All right.
And
Before we get to
when did he ask you? What time of day?
oh, I'd have to look at my text.
Roughly.
Midday.
Me too. Wonder which one of us he hit first.
I
He
got
didn't like the other one's answer.
I got 10:35 a.m.
Oh, you got it before me. So he didn't like your answer, and then he came to me with a hypothetical.
Well, he knows I know more about softball and baseball than you do, so he figured he'd go to a
please.
real factual source first.
It's your team. What a prick he is.
All right.
Maybe of the month.
Before we get to trivia, look, fantasy football is just around the corner, and
I don't. A third week. I'm not sure I like it.
Zach, I have some good team names. Your team names even if you don't use them, I want you to think in Disney. Think of some better team names because I want to read off my list and your list is not very good. Be original. Come up with some good team names. Yeah?
Sure.
Okay.
Frozen Tundra. Frozen's a Disney movie. There's a Tundra. All right.
Not Disney themed. That was actually decent. Not Disney themed. I meant when you're in Disney and Zoe's on the teacups and you want to gouge her eyes.
Oh no, when I'm on the teacups, I'm all business. I'm sending that thing to the next level. We're going off the hinges.
With her throw up, hitting everybody like Problem Child.
I was with a friend of mine, and we were on an adult trip to Disney years ago. I watched the color go out of his face. He was not having it. He needed like an hour to get himself right from the teacups. No, I'm going to come up with Disney-themed names, maybe.
Okay, you know what? That's better than your other stupid names.
For
trivia,
football team. It's gold.
Trivia this week is inspired by, I saw an article, apparently Taco Bell is revolutionizing what their restaurants look like. They're starting with something it said Brooklyn Gardens, I think like Kentucky or something, whatever it was. Did you see what that thing looked like with the purple, like elevated...
Yeah, I see some of the new ones in the city. They look pretty nice.
Not the Cantina.
Even the shitty ones look nice now.
But what they're doing now is they're basically think of it like a drive-through, but it's kind of like a bank drive-through where basically the restaurant is elevated. It's 4 drive-through spaces, and either the car gets lifted, which doesn't make sense. I couldn't really follow the article, or the food is going like up and like you can pre-order and like when you put the tube in the bank teller machine and it sucks it. Right.
The Tommy Boy thing.
Apparently, they're going to be doing something like that with Taco Bells now, which was very interesting. Anyway, I decided to go with a Taco Bell themed trivia. I got 5 questions for you.
We'll go.
We'll go from there.
I hope they all give me the shits because Taco Bell does immediately too.
Question number 1: Taco Bell, the name of the company. Is it named after a person, a place, or a thing? Meaning, is it a person with... So, I'll just tell you, taco is a taco, it's Bell. Is the Bell a person? Is the Bell...
Was it Bell a place,
right, is it like somebody whose name is Bell? Is it like Bell, California? Or is it named after an actual Bell?
Place.
I'll give you another guess.
Person.
Person is correct!
I don't want another guess. I want to go either full Allison or see where this goes. If she's watching, maybe I'll strike out. Maybe I'll get nervous, flustered.
I had to look it up. I forget.
Anyway.
It was like his last name was Bell, the guy who actually invented it. No, question the second. Taco Bell is owned by its parent company, ticker symbol YUM, Yum Brands.
Yep, I have stock in them. It's a great stock.
Yum Brands, prior to 2011, owned A&W and Long John Silver, but it doesn't anymore. It still has 2 major holdings of, let's call them fast food chain restaurants.
KFC.
And?
It used to be owned by Pepsi, but that's split, so I got Yum Brands. Taco Bell.
Tell me if you want a hint.
I'll give you a small hint.
You eat it with your hands/fingers.
Hands/fingers.
I guess that doesn't really narrow it down.
Fast food is.
It's one of the pizza joints.
Pizza Hut.
That is correct. Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Question.
It's a good stock, actually. I don't know. I got it from Pepsi.
Question number 3. So we all remember the Yo Quiero Taco.
Dividend stock, which is nice because
you sound like my grandfather.
Oh, it's great. You got to check every quarter for doing nothing. It's fantastic.
You got to check. It doesn't automatically. You don't drip.
I mean, it's a whole to do why it's just a paper check, but I love getting it. It's a process.
You don't drip? Seriously?
I don't. I should. It's a process of why it is this way. It's not for now.
Question
number to get in the mail.
Number 3. The Chihuahua, the Yo Quiero Taco Bell dog,
Yeah.
actually replaced a famous comedian. He got more popular later after the fact. Do you remember who the spokesperson for Taco Bell was? You wouldn't have known them.
Feels like George Lopez.
No. It's a white guy. He was nothing at the time, but he got very big. I'd say like mid to late 2000s. Then not so much anymore.
Taco Bell?
You would only know this if you know this.
Louis C.K.?
It was Daniel Tosh.
Really?
Like before he was anything, he was like the in the commercials, and then when the dog came, he didn't have the gig anymore.
Who knew?
Fun fact.
All right, that's a fun fact. Good for him.
Question number 4. Taco Bell was the first fast food company to offer free what?
Free. Well, it's either refills or dipping sauce. Condiments always come free. I'm gonna go with refills.
Refills is correct. I did not know that.
I didn't either, but it was just we went down the rabbit hole. Are we really avoiding the obvious question here?
You want to ask your own question for question
Give me
5?
number 5.
I don't think we're going to get to it, but I don't think it's the same one. You want me to ask? All right. My question is plus or minus.
No, it's the wrong question. What movie is Taco Bell prevalent? It's the only fast food to survive the fast food wars. Demolition Man, you asshole. Ask your question.
Oh, I love that movie.
I know you do.
But how do you use the 3 seashells?
You eat Taco Bell and you got to figure it out. Because you got about 5 minutes to figure that thing out after Taco Bell goes through you. Go on.
Plus or minus 4.5. How many Taco Bells in Mexico?
I'm going to say 0.
Correct. Well, it's plus or minus 4.5. So you're going to go with under?
Under 4.
0. They've opened 2 of them, both gone.
I told you, it's 0. How we don't talk Demolition Man. That movie should be talked about in general every day for some reason.
You know, there's a podcast that I listen to where they like randomly review movies that I couldn't give a shit about. We're not. You know what? I'll do Demolition Man trivia for you one time because I love that movie.
Yeah, Jack Black.
That was a good
He did
kisser
it for 12
too.
seconds.
Jack Black is. I mean, I remember Dennis Leary had a big part.
Yeah, Jack Black was one of his cronies.
I might rewatch that.
Yeah, you should rewatch it. I've seen it many times.
All right, so
Benjamin Bratt was good in it too.
Not big news, but news. We're taking next week off. Zach's going away. I got some things I got to take care of, but we will be back in
like what? Mall walking for $3? What are you taking care of next week?
2 weeks. Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Rate, review, subscribe, share it with a friend, tell everybody. We love the support. We love everything.
I have no idea what we talked about tonight, but I laughed. It was funny. Good times.
Daddy loves you.
I love you too. Bottoms up.